Hey guys, I'm in Canada right now, and you know what? As soon as it starts to get just a little bit warm, I start getting that grilling vibe. But then when I step outside, I realize that no, it's way too cold for that. So, you know what? Sometimes I like to do those kind of dishes in the oven inside. So, here's my delicious 5-spice pork skewers. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is make a marinade. So right here in this bowl, I have some hoisin sauce, some soy sauce, a little browning, and some fancy molasses. Okay, so I'm just pouring that into this bowl, and then we're gonna add some other good stuff. So this is the Chinese 5-spice powder. If you can't find that, you can make your own. And then I added some sesame seed oil. Then I'm going in with some brown sugar. We're gonna add some honey. Then I'm going to add some garlic and some ginger. You can either finely mince them or you could grate them. I'm also going to add some finely minced scallion. In this bowl, I have both rice vinegar and rice wine. So I just combined them. I'm adding that right now. Then we are going to give this a good stir. For the quantities of the ingredients, all you need to do is just click that down arrow beside the video title and it will open up the description box with the list of ingredients. Once you whisk this together, it is good to go. If you want to put it in a blender, that's fine, but you don't have to. Okay, so what we need to do now is add the pork. So I have some pork chops cubed, and if you don't eat pork, you can always do chicken or some seafood. All you need to do is just make the marinade, right? So I'm going to be splitting the marinade in half. We're going to put the pork in half of the marinade, and then the rest of the marinade, we're going to set that aside for later. So guys, I did end up setting aside a little more than a half for the glaze later on, and then the rest, I'm just going to put the pork in it. It's definitely best to marinate this overnight. If you can't, then you can do 2 hours or an hour, but overnight is definitely best. This is going to be really delicious, guys. If you can't find Chinese 5-spice, you can make your own. I'll be leaving some details in the description box below the video. So we just need to wrap this up and let it refrigerate. Let the pork soak up those flavors. All right. So when you're ready to skewer this, if you have metal skewers, definitely use them. If not, you can soak your bamboo skewers in water just to help prevent it from burning too fast. To be honest, sometimes even though I soak it, it still burns a little bit, but it helps, somewhat. So we're gonna just put the pork pieces on there, and if you want to add some veggies, you can as well. If you want to, you could fill up the skewers, right? Or you could do several. So just make sure that when you lay them on a wire rack, they are spaced out. We're going to be baking these at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes. While the pork is in the oven, then you just want to simmer that sauce on the stove for about 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be super high heat. And then after that, what you can do is you can strain the liquid. If the grated ginger and garlic doesn't bother you, then you don't need to strain it. But if you want to, go ahead. After those 2 minutes, remove it from the heat and strain it. So after you've gotten out those solid pieces, then you can just simmer again for maybe a minute and then leave it alone. It's good to go. All right. So the pork is out of the oven. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to flip these over, brush on that really nice glaze that we heated up on the stove, and then we're going to be broiling just to let that glaze stick to the pork and to complete the cooking of the pork. Now remember guys, these are pork chop pieces. They cook really fast, and remember that the pieces are cut small. So try not to overcook it because it's going to be very chewy if you do that. So I flip it over. I'm going to brush on that glaze, and we're going to put this in the oven under the broiler for about a minute so the glaze can stick to the pork. If you don't have a broiler setting, then just use the highest temperature in the oven and put this on the highest shelf so that that sauce can get nice and sticky. So after broiling that side, guys, we're going to flip this over and brush on the rest of the glaze. So this side is going to be that display side. You know how it goes when you're serving your food, you have a side that is usually even prettier than the other side. So you're just going to put on the rest of the glaze here and then broil it for about a minute. Keep your eye on it so that it doesn't burn. So about a minute in the oven under the broiler, and you will be good to go. They are going to be so gorgeous. Look at this. And the smell in your kitchen is definitely going to make you smile. This was so tempting. I promise you, you might want to make a little more than I did because it was so delicious. So what did we do? We baked the pork skewers for about 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we brushed on our glaze on both sides and broiled both sides. And that's it. This is really tasty. You should give it a try for the weekend. I really hope you enjoy it. Come back and let me know how it worked out for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.